This is Group 4's Software Project Management website. In order to use the website, you first have to register for a login, so I'll go ahead and do that. And I'll create a new email here since that one was already being used. I'll just make a fake one for now. And register. Alright, and so I am now registered, and the dashboard is sort of the main home page for the website. So you can either access that by clicking the dashboard up here or go to dashboard after you have registered. Since this is a new username, there are no existing projects, so we will create a new project by clicking here. Alright, and then this is the website, this particular page, where you will enter in various aspects of the project. So there is a project name, call that My Project, a general description of the software project, as well as the owner of the project. Okay, and then you can add as many team members as you like. So I will add just a few team members here. Fake names, let's see. And I'll add another. And you could add as many as you like, and you can also subtract team members from the list if that particular person leaves. So after you have added the team members that you want, you can go ahead and add all of the risks. So I'm just going to enter in generic risk names here and generic risk descriptions. And then you can categorize the risk as either low, medium, or high risk, or mitigated. So I'll put this one as a low risk. Add risk, and then you can add as many of these as you'd like. Go ahead and add another one. And we'll make this one a medium risk. And the risks will show up here. You can delete the risks at any time if you want. So now that we have entered in the project name, a high-level description, the owner, a few team members, and a couple of risks, we will go ahead and create the project. Okay, and this is the summary of the project. You'll see here that I'm the owner. A unique project ID was generated automatically for this particular project. You have the description of the project as well as the team members and the risks. From here you can begin to add requirements. So let's go ahead and add a few requirements. Let's see, we will say the system must be less than 2 megabytes in size after install. And we'll say that's a functional requirement. Add requirement. And you can add as many requirements as you'd like. I'll just enter in some generic ones here. We'll say that's non-functional requirement. And once you're done entering in the requirements, hit Save Changes. Alright, so it takes you back to the particular project, and now we can see the various requirements that we have entered. At any point, you can put in the number of hours that have been worked on these requirements, and you do that by clicking on the clock icon here next to the requirement you want to enter the time for. So we'll go ahead and enter a few hours for this particular requirement. You can also add a start date and an end date that covers this particular entry, so we'll do that. So put it in the past here. Say, I'll start off by just entering 1 hour just to show functionality. Well, here, let's do 2, 3, just to make it interesting, or 5. And I will press the Enter Hours button. Those hours will show up in an entry table down here. So that is my first entry. So we can go back to the dashboard if we want. We can now see the project. We can see an overview of how many team members, risks, and requirements and time entries have been created for this project. We can see the owner and the description of the project. And so then at any point, if I want to update the project, I can add more requirements, or I can change the number of hours that have been worked. So why don't we go ahead and update the hours that were worked on a requirement. This one I have not entered any hours for, so I'll go ahead and enter a few hours for that one as well. And I'll say 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And I'll enter in the dates here. Once again, those will show up down here. And now let's say that I want to add another entry. Let's say I come back and a week later I have more hours to enter for this particular requirement. I can do that by doing basically what I just did. So let's see, I will say here, here. And just so we can see a total tally of the numbers, I'll go ahead and put 100 hours for each of these. Okay, and then I will hit enter. The second hours entry will show up down here. And so this is a summary of the first entry that was created. This is a summary of the second entry. If we want to see all of these numbers added together, basically we want to see how many hours have been spent overall on each of these individual subtasks or subcategories for this particular requirement that we've called requirement 2. We can come back to the dashboard, go back to the project, scroll down, and you will see these analytics options here pop up. So you click on the analytics option for the requirement that we just added hours for, and you can see the total hours. So this is the summation of the 2 entries that we just did. So you can see how many hours have been spent on requirements analysis, testing, coding, design, and project management. And then from here you can choose to go back to the dashboard at any time. And you also have a few options down here for going back to the project view, the particular time entry page for this requirement, Rec 2. So you can click there and you could add additional hours if you wanted to. You can go back to the dashboard here. If you wanted to create a new project, you would do that here. Once again, just like we did earlier, enter in the name, description, owner, team members, risks, hit create. You will then be able to add requirements, and then you can add hours to those requirements just like we just did. So that is an overview of Team 4's software project management website. And I will go ahead and sign out.